Good day. Everybody's having a good one out there. I wanted to talk a minute about AI and the whole AI craze and AI in music and AI in art and AI in all of the places. And now we just got Elon Musk putting out, who's one of the innovators of AI technology as we know it. In fact, one of the co-creators of OpenAI, who put a ton of money in that, and now it's not so open. And anyway, he just put out a big warning for everybody to take a pause and just chill out for a little bit. And everybody under the sun has heard about Chat GPT and all of these other awesome AI programs that are out there. And a lot of people are, kind of, you know, the cheeky little version of the art industry. That everything's going to come to an end because AI is just going to take over all these industries. Which, yes, AI will innovate industries to a point that people get phased out, or certain other industries get phased out because AI can do it and it doesn't need these other things. So that's always going to be a problem. But when it comes to artistic stuff and, mainly music and art or whatever, we need to remind ourselves, and we need to take a step back and remember that they call it artificial intelligence for a reason. That it is artificially intelligent. It isn't really intelligent. These computer programs don't wake up in the morning and think, you know what, I want to write a nice folk song and then put a weird trap beat behind it and sing on it like a lullaby. Why? Because it's Tuesday and it's raining. No. The computer can get told to try to mimic that, and it takes an awful lot of work to even do that. But 99.99999% of the time, if any of this music is being created with AI, it's being created by a person that is already fairly musically inclined in order to give the instructions to this AI to do the things that it wants to do. If you ask AI to write me a track, now it does some pretty amazing things, but it doesn't take long for you to really start to, you don't have to peel away many layers before you see that it's all fakery, that it's all kind of mimicry. Now, there's been a lot of cool things out there, and just to let people know, AI is being used in the music industry right now as we speak in many facets. But actually writing the music is not where it's taking advantage of people. It's taking advantage of people by artificially pushing things and artificially boosting things in a way and giving these companies numbers that make them artificially push things up in the rankings, that have more to do with the amount of plays they can get out of a song in a 24-hour period than it does about the song's quality at all. When it comes down to it, still going to need people to do all these inputs at the end of the day, right? And everybody's saying, well, it's going to be a while before we're phased out. And look, AI, they're already talking about having to license voices and actually, licensing people's vocal frequencies, that, an AI can't just, well, we'll just make our own Adele with AI, or we'll just make our own Floyd Jensen with AI from mimicking enough of what she does to the point that it just sounds like her. They're already laying down the tracks to make sure that you can't just make your own virtual clone of that person and monetize it. There's already laws in place that strictly prohibit a lot of this from happening, and they're laying down more to make sure that people are protected. But never underestimate the government's ability to screw something up like this. So if there's a dollar to be made and politicians are there to make it, well, they're going to do that before they're going to do what is needed for the people. But that's a whole nother story for another day. The point of the matter is I think there's a lot of unnecessary hype about AI taking over the music industry or taking over, because you don't understand. It already has, just not in the way that you think. It will be quite some time before AI just, gets up and decides, you know what, I think some peoples would like, some humanoids would like. I think they would love to hear my soulful voice singing about all my heartfelt tragedies and all my feelings of all the things that I've been through as a lifetime as an artificial being. So you see everything, the layers will fall off very quickly unless there are actual people there to be the artists and guide. Right now AI is just a tool. It's being really pushed and to do some incredible things, and some companies have sprung up from it, and it's given a lot of artists, they've had to take pause for a minute and kind of look at this, and stand back and reassess the way they feel about the industry that they are a part of. But make no mistake, you're already being, influenced by AI on a daily basis. So to suddenly be worried about these industries being taken over by AI, we've already crossed that bridge. Now, again, as far as the music that will be made from AI, it's easier for AI to fake electronic music, obviously, and stuff like that. And look, AI has really done some incredible stuff, but again, it needs exact instructions from people that know what they are doing in order for this thing to do this. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people, oh, but did you see this and did you see that? Yeah, but did you see all the instructions that it took to get that? It didn't do it on its own. So another example of where there's a lot of artificial intelligence in music, or AI being used. I use myself. A lot of music producers do the same thing. There's software out there that helps you. Native Instruments has a bunch of different stuff. Helps you mix and master. There's already Band Labs is using AI to help mix and master stuff. This is I have heard, every time I hear a mix, it's never something that is, yep, that's it, that's perfect, we didn't need to touch a thing. No, it's never been that way. It's always just been like a starting point or way off completely, and it sounds terrible. It doesn't always get it right. It doesn't know what you want it to sound like, so it needs cues. Even in the thing, it needs prompts. Do you want it to sound clearer? Do you want it to sound, and then other cool things that the AI has been able to do to help music creators is to be able to mimic different sound systems so you can hear your mix in different, without actually having to go onto those sound systems. Imagine being able to listen to your mix in a car. It will try its best to, this is what your mix will sound like inside a car. That sort of thing, for an example. These things are very helpful, and they save a ton of time, and they do help with creativity, because some of these tedious things, when you're so hyper focused on the tediousness, a lot of the creative juices that you have on these other things that you're get take, because you have to be so hyper focused on these particular things, where if you had a helping hand, it'd be like having a room of producers, all hitting some dials and going, yeah, and dialing it in, and everybody going, yeah, and working together. Instead, all of those are a bunch of, microchips and transistors and blah, blah, blahs firing off, mimicking a mixer, a masterer, and helping you get to a point to where you're not spending hours just to get to that point, to where it still sounds like garbage, but it's better garbage. You know what I mean? So, I personally, from everything that I've seen and everything that I know about, the industry, yeah, there are things that are making us take pause, but the real people that we should, be worried about that are using AI are already using it. And those aren't the people that are making the music. Those are the people that are selling the music. And those are the people that are using AI to try to change how you listen to music and what you listen to, and try to make you think that this is something you might like. All those pushes on Spotify and all those, people don't realize the amount of fake garbage that's being pushed on Spotify, and only because it comes down to, we could just look at the fact that the lengths of songs have shortened exponentially. And this is become an okay thing to be observed in the music industry, where before we need at least 3 minute song, and now it's under 3 minutes. That's fine. Oh, under 2 minutes, sure, no problem. A minute 20 seconds, yeah, we can make that work. These are the things that they're doing. It's just like they only want movies to be so long, and that's why we only get so many 3-hour and 4-hour movies a year or every few years, is because it's harder you can only play them so many times during the day. You make money by asses and seats, and it's just like ears listening, and you make money from people listening to songs many, many times. Spotify needs you to listen to these songs thousands of times in order to rip off their artists for thousands of dollars. Right? So, when it comes to AI, let's really think about the important areas that it's being used in for music that should be worried about, rather than, is it going to be making music and all of a sudden guitarists and everybody and singers and all that are going to be, pointless because AI can do it all. We have digital characters that are basically lifelike. We have had, human-like motion in digital animation for years now, and it still hasn't replaced. And even when it is taking the place of live actors, guess what they use in order to fake the live acting? Actual live actors. So we have motion capture and all these other wonderful things in the digital world. So I hope you get what I'm laying down. Yeah, I wouldn't be so concerned, and you artists out there, people out there, making music or whatever, don't let this whole thing with AI, frustrate you. I think a lot of the art part of it It's like kids with new toys, and then people will get, sick of it because they're gonna realize that the spirit and all that is needed, and the art that they love. There's always something lost, and music that doesn't have that's written by something that has a heart and soul. So that's my input on the whole situation. I would love to hear what you think about the whole thing. I know it's everywhere you look, and it's just it gets kind of like another piece of AI software and all that, and it's a crazy world we're living in these days, but it's also very exciting, and the amount of things that the amount of cool toys we get to play with these days are going to be really neat, and I hope it will do things to help better the music making process. We already know what it's doing for the industry, but yeah. I look forward to hearing what you all think. Hope everybody out there is having a great day. It's going as good as it possibly can be. We'll see you in the next one, everybody. Have a good day.